Hello, I'm Adam from Roots to Fruit. In previous videos we've thought about how by using simple numeracy we can tell how old a tree is and how big its root system is. Well, today I've brought you to the village that I grew up in because I would like to show you how, again, by using simple numeracy we can work out how tall a tree is. And the tree I'd like to use to do that is one that I have loved since I was a little boy, and it's the lonely beech tree that sits on the top of Grove Hill. To work out the height of our tree, you're going to need two pieces of equipment. One of them is a stick, a straightish stick that's at least as long as your arm. And the second piece of equipment you're going to need is one of these, a tape measure. The first thing we need to do to determine the height of our chosen tree is to measure the length of our stride. This is pretty easy to do. Pull out the entire length of your tape measure and lay it on the floor. Now this is easier to do if there is someone to help. The tape measure I am using in this film is 5 meters long from one end to the other. Once the tape is laid out, starting at one end, take even steps along its length, counting as you go. In this case, 5 steps gets me from one end to the other. So, as I'm using a 5 meter measure, that must mean that each one of my steps is 1 meter in length. I need to remember that information. It's going to come in handy later. With our stride length safely stored away in our minds, we need to move on to the next part of the exercise. Take your stick. Remember, it needs to be at least as long as your arm, and place the tip of one end on your shoulder. With your arm outstretched, let it swing downwards, being careful to hold on to the place on the stick where that happens. With your arm still outstretched, start to walk backwards away from the tree. We should aim to walk backwards until the top of our hand holding the stick is dead level with the base of the tree trunk, and the top of the stick is dead level with the very tallest branches in the tree canopy. Once we have that, we should stand still. Once your hand and the top of the stick are in the right place, you've basically created a huge triangle called an isosceles triangle. That's the name given to a triangle that has two sides that are exactly the same length. In this case, the side that runs down your outstretched arm to the base of the tree and the side that runs from the base of the tree to the top are the sides of the isosceles triangle that are the same. Because those lines are the same, we only have to pace out the bottom line and we can be confident that whatever distance we cover will be a pretty accurate estimate of the height of the tree. In this case, I paced out 10 steps. 1 step equals 1 metre, so my tree is around 10 metres tall. Don't worry if your steps aren't as long as mine. I know I'm pretty lucky to have a stride that's around 1 metre long. It makes the numeracy so much easier. All you have to do is to make a slight adjustment to make it work for you. For example, let's say it took 8 steps for you to stride the length of the 5 metre tape measure because you've got littler legs than mine. How many steps would it take you to get to the tree when it was your turn to pace it out once you'd made your big isosceles triangle? That's right, 16. 16 steps for you would still give a height of 10 metres. There you have it, an age-old method for telling how tall a tree is. And it's one that's still used by arborists and tree surgeons to this day. All you need to know is how long your stride is, and you can work out the height of any tree. So go on then, find yourself that straightish stick that's at least as long as your arm, and get out and work out the height of some of the trees that are near where you live. Take care, see you soon, and have fun with it.